Okay, page 4 of the frequency tables and histograms um, problem set. Simi recorded the number of vans per 5 minutes that drove down her street over a period of 8 hours. Her results were, and here they are, um, write down the lower and upper boundaries of the fourth class. Okay, so on this one you see that the current max and mins are not the same. Like the max here is 10, the min here is 11, the max here is 15, the min here is 16. On a histogram for math studies, these numbers need to be the same because we're going to put the border number there, right? And it can't be two different numbers, it's got to be one number. So for example, the 5 is going to be halfway between 5 and 6, which would be 5.5, right? So it would be 5.5 there, it would be 5.5 here. The 10 is, you're going to have to put a number that's halfway between the 10 and 11, so that would be 10.5. 10.5. 15, that you have to put a number halfway between 15 and 16, so that would be 15.5. Halfway between 20 and 21 would be 20.5. Halfway between 25 and 26 would be 25.5. Halfway between 30 and 31 would be 30.5. Halfway between 35 and 36 would be 35.5. And then you notice that the width of these classes is 15, because if you take any of these right numbers and subtract the left number, you get 5. So this would be 40.5. And this would be 0.5. Okay, so we now have the lower boundary and upper boundary for each class, which they asked us for here. They actually asked for the fourth class, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be that one. Draw a histogram to represent the information. Okay, so first we mark the x-axis with the boundaries. So it would be 0.5, it would be 5.5, 10.5, 15.5, 20.5, 25.5, 30.5, 35.5, and 40.5. And then the frequencies, we're going to put numbers ranging from 1 to 31. So we obviously don't have 31 blocks here, so we're going to have to count by, maybe count by 4s. Okay, so we'll count by 4s. We'll put 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, no, not 28, 24, yeah, 28, 32. Okay, and then we'll mark the first one, the frequency is 12. Second one, the second range, which is 5.5 to 10.5, the frequency is 23. That would be like pretty close to 24. 10.5 to 15.5, the frequency is 31. So it'll be close to 31. 15.5 to 20.5, frequency is 13. Okay, and you can continue on to the last one. Okay, number 8, the number of visitors per hour to the Taj Mahal are recorded. Oh, by the way, I forgot to label these. Sorry about that. This is the frequency, and this would be labeled number of vans. Number of vans. Number of visitors per hour to the Taj Mahal are recorded in the table. This one's a little bit different than usual. It's got times instead of numbers, but since these times are so sequential, I mean, like for example, they didn't use like 6 p.m., they used 18, so they made it easy for us to use these times to actually label our graph with them, and the numbers would be in order. So we can use these. We can use, instead of 9 to 10 a.m., we'll just write 9 and 10, for example. And then for the next one, we'll write 10 to 11, for example. Okay? So let's see if these fit here. We'll write 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Ever been to the Taj Mahal? When I was a little kid, we went to the Taj Mahal. My family went to India for a week. Um, I was like 6 years old. I still remember it today. Okay, number of visitors. Let's see, there's like a few blocks here. Obviously, there's not 498 or 563 blocks. So we're going to have to count by like hundreds. I think we're probably going to have to do like 2 blocks per 100. So that would be 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So this would be the frequency, or number of visitors, you could also write. And this one would be time. And then we're just going to mark the number of visitors. So 324 would be about that many. You're not going to be very exact here because these marks are 100 apart. So next range or class, 10 to 11, would be 356. Slightly higher than that. Okay? So you see how this works? Let's do the 563 one because that's the tallest. So between 14 and 15, it would be 563. Slightly higher than that. Okay, so you see how that works, right? Notice how what inequalities they're using here. Like for example, between 12 o'clock and 1300 hours, we have the less than or equal sign here and the less than sign here. Between 1300 hours and 1400 hours, we have the less than or equal to sign here, and then we have the less than sign here. So you can see that, like for example, what if the person arrived exactly at 1300 hours? Which class would he be in? Well, he would be in this class, right? Because 1300 is greater than or equal to 1300 hours, but it's not less than 1300 hours. So there's no doubt here, since they use less than or equal for the left and less than on the right, there's no doubt which class the borderline times fall into, for example. Okay? So that's it. And even though you can see like this is called number of visitors, we can still kind of think about it and figure out the number of visitors is actually the frequency and the time is not the frequency, right? So one of them is going to be on the x-axis, which are the data ranges, and the number of time it happens, or the frequency it happens, or the number of people, that's going to be on the y-axis with the frequency. Okay? That's it.